What's up, Rebels? What's up, Pride Crew? Doug here at Pride Conditioning with your Monday motivation every single week. And this week we are talking about excuses and how many excuses can you come up with? Ready? Here we go. All right, Rebels, it is 2020. We are rolling into the third week of 2020, and I've already gone over in the previous 2 weeks a couple of videos about trying to keep your New Year's resolutions, trying to set goals, making plans to achieve those goals. We talk about this year after year after year, right, of making plans, making huge plans, big plans, plans that scare the shit out of you. But a plan, okay, an idea without a plan is just a daydream. So what we are looking to do is take our plans and take our ideas and actually, follow that plan. But in order to follow that plan, you have to take action, right? We need a list of steps that we're going to take on that plan. All right, maybe you need a coach to help you come up with that plan and help keep you accountable to that plan. Maybe you just need, to journal. You just have to write down, day after day after day. The wife is very big on doing this. She actually switched over from logging her workout on her phone electronically through an app. She is going old school. She is going pad and pen, and that is it. And it kind of forces her to make sure that she writes down everything that she does in her workout and how she felt during her workout, the sleep that she got the night before, her food, her weight. She's writing all of this stuff down and tracking it. This is something that we definitely recommend to everybody, and it's something that will help you stay on track to your resolutions and your goals and your plans for 2020. But I'm getting off topic. The topic for today is excuses and how many excuses you could possibly come up with to get out of, following through with your plans, your goals, excuses that you're coming up with, why you are not working on this project, why, you haven't gotten anything done, why you've skipped your workouts, why you've skipped the gym, why you haven't hired a coach yet. All of these things are important and could possibly be huge goals for you and huge things on your New Year's resolution list. But now we're 3 weeks into 2020 and I'm starting to hear the excuses coming through. The emails, the social media messages, I hear through third hand, through the grapevine, from person to person, why so-and-so isn't in the gym, why this person hasn't been here. And, sometimes we joke about it and we hear about these people and they will fully admit, I've just been lazy for the past 3 weeks. I just haven't gotten out of bed. I haven't gotten enough sleep. Sometimes we hear these legitimate excuses. We have people that get injured, and these are legitimate excuses. Sometimes people just own up to it. Some people just say, I've been fucking lazy for the past 3 weeks. You know what? That's fine. You owned up to it, and now you admitted to it, and now we can move on. Now we can build onto, getting back on track and getting back to the plan and getting back to working towards your goals. But sometimes I hear some bullshit excuses. Listen, I get it. Shit happened. Life happened. People get injured. There are legitimate excuses, and then there are bullshit. I have been coaching people for 12 years. I've trained, we're approaching 2,000 people now. At this point in time, I have heard every single possible excuse as to why people cannot make it to the gym. And oddly enough, though, every year, I've definitely heard a few that, I probably haven't heard before. So every year I hear a new one, and I'm like, wow, that's a new one. But, the most common ones that I always hear are, work has been crazy. Listen, we live here in Charlotte, and this is a banking city, and the banks do not give a fuck about their employees. So they work their employees to death, and you're gonna work crazy hours sometimes. I definitely get this. After a couple of weeks, though, that usually calms down. Usually that's just a week or two of bullshit until, these reports are finished, this project is done, they've landed this client, or, something has been wrapped up. Usually that's like a temporary thing. Once in a while, we get people that switch jobs and they have to work like weird hours. These things happen. When I hear the excuse, though, I just don't have time. That is probably the worst excuse I've ever heard. I will tell you why that's the worst excuse I've ever heard. We are open from 6 a.m. until almost 9 o'clock at night. So for people to tell me that they don't have time is definitely bullshit. Unless you've got 6 kids and you work 80 hours a week, listen, you can make time. We have early morning workouts, we have evening workouts, I have afternoon workouts. I can make things happen with the craziest of schedules. So the I don't have time excuse is definitely bullshit, and it is definitely the one that I hear the most. Now, the injury excuse. This is the other one that we hear constantly. And basically, unless your injury puts you in a full body cast, the injury excuse is completely bullshit. Lindsay and I have destroyed our bodies over the past few years. Lindsay and I were Muay Thai fighters. I've traveled all over the world for kettlebell sport. Lindsay's been powerlifting for a few years now. We both have sustained some pretty bad injuries. I have no MCL in my left knee. My left shoulder is torn. I've got problems with my neck, problems with my back. I have a lot of issues. I have problems with my wrists and my hands. Lindsay has actually had shoulder surgery. The doctors told her that she would never lift again. And of course, what is she doing? Lifting. Of course, Lindsay is one of those people where if you tell her that she will never be able to do anything, she will definitely prove you wrong on that, almost just to spite what you said to her and to piss you off and to prove you wrong. But she loves what she does, and she's injured, and we know she's injured, and there's nothing that we can do about it. So basically, we just said, fuck it. Light the tires on fire and just burn it. That's what we're doing. That's what she's doing. Now, I have people that say, they have these injuries. I have tendonitis in my elbow. I have tendonitis in my elbow. I deal with it every single day. People come in with the elbow, the tendonitis, and a lot of what we do in here is grip related. Whether it's rowing or skiing or barbell work or kettlebell work, almost everything is holding on to something. It's hard to do any sort of workouts without holding on to something. But we have ways. We definitely have ways. I definitely get the feet, the ankles. Feet and ankles are really hard to deal with because you have to stand on your feet in order to do most of your exercises. But again, we have ways around this. There are a lot of exercises that you can do seated, which again then brings us to knees and hips. Again, there are a lot of exercises that you can do seated. So my point is, even if it's a back injury or a neck injury, joint injuries, muscle injuries, if you listen to the doctors will tell you, you need absolute rest. You need to, just sit on the couch for the next 6 weeks and let it heal. is complete and utter bullshit. No doctor should ever tell you to be 100% sedentary. Unless your life depends on being sedentary, you should not be sedentary. It is bullshit. So the whole injury excuse is something that we hear consistently from people. And the truth is, it's just that. It's an excuse. It's an excuse to quit. It's an excuse to not do something. And I understand that mentally, a lot of times when people kind of get to a higher level of training or a higher level, of business or coaching or, wherever they're at in their job or in their life, and then you get injured or you hit a setback that sets you back so far that you feel like a beginner. And this can be really embarrassing, and this can be mentally just absolutely destructive. It can destroy you and your progress and your goals. But just like everything else in life, you get knocked down, you have to get back up again. So are you using the injury, are you using the setback as an excuse to quit because you know that you are starting over again, and starting over again is hard. It is really hard. It's hard physically and it's hard mentally. And again, this goes for training and being in the gym. This goes for sports. This goes for business. This goes for relationships. This goes for everything in your life. Are you willing to start over again in order to get back to where you were, even though it's going to be hard and it's going to be painful? Or are you just making excuses so that you can quit? Are you a quitter, or are you going to pick yourself back up, get back on the horse, and keep riding? We write programs for people. We write specialty programs for people. If your legs are injured, your arms still work. If your back is messed up, we can program things for you so that you're seated or off your feet or not in a certain position. We work with physical therapists to make sure that the programming that we're giving people for this injury is still safe. So the whole injury thing, people use this as the biggest excuse in the world. And along with the I don't have time excuse, these are the two excuses that we hear all the time. My point of all of this is it's 2020 and it's time to get up and get back on the horse and ride. It's time to ride. It's time to achieve your goals. It's time for you to see success and to be happy with yourself, to be happy with your journey, to be happy with who you are. And you can't do that doing nothing. Doing nothing will not make you happy. And we are here to help you. We're here to help you achieve your goals, and we're here to help you overcome these excuses and these obstacles that you keep throwing out so that you can quit. And if it's one thing we don't want you to quit. I don't want you to quit. I want to help you succeed and achieve all of your goals. So you've got to leave these excuses in the fucking garbage where they belong. And that is your Monday motivation for this week, guys. Stop with the bullshit excuses. Stop quitting. Get up, get back on the horse. It's time to ride. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Peace.